Gary Packman on his podcast this week for the first time. He had an episode today where someone asked about herd immunity and all that, and he said something I wasn't aware of, which is that polls are showing more than half the country may not take the vaccine. And we know the Antichrist, all this other shit. And I thought about how we really are dealing with disease X. Like the Trump era, as well as the protesters, the racial violence, we really are like, it's a perfect storm. Perfect storm. And Trump from day one telling people to liberate these states, which could have turned into violence. People could have died behind. That was a reckless act. Even if I'd done that, and I'm not a president, people should. And I had like a lot of people following me. That would be reckless, because if someone died behind that, that's reckless. But that's what Trump been doing from day one, playing off white supremacist rhetoric from day one. That's what he does. To me, a legitimate president would put science first. A legitimate president would put that out there to the community, to the states, that we've got to work in tandem and we've got to prepare for this thing to get worse. Trump from day one has downplayed the pandemic. He said it would go away with the heat. It hasn't happened. He said now that it might go away with it's just lies. He's lied. He just lies, straight up lies. And I'm at the point now where I just call a speed, but he's a liar. He's a liar. And I think that Trump causes people to lose confidence in public health, putting out that opposition info, that saying that Dr. Fauci, when he got wrong. Why would a president put out information about the CDC when they were wrong? I cannot make it clear enough that he is not worthy to be the president. Like he's not. Like Trump really represents the know-nothings. This idea of just going back to riding horses and this stupidity. It's just a legitimate president would have discussions about science and explain things to people and what this stuff means and what we have to do and what we have to prepare for if this thing is bad in the fall. A responsible presidency would have people saying, yeah, we don't want it to go bad. We don't want it to get bad, but it may get bad. All Trump just completely downplays it. It's another part of his recklessness. I was talking to my friend Dizel about how when he ran for office, he was in town halls and he was talking about, beat this guy up, and my lawyers take care of you. Like, he was telling people that. That should not have been done. And people have talked about would he resign? Would he bow out if he lost the election? He won't do it. And talking about we're going to have to delay the election and his racist right-wing people out here, he's like, I can control them. No. If that was me, I would have came out there and said, listen, we are a democracy. I mean, we are one country. We cannot have political violence. And that goes for whether I get elected president this next cycle or not. Trump did not do that because this goes back to it. I do not believe Trump cares about what happened 5 minutes after he got out of office. See, to me, America is like an 80-year-old, 70-year-old man that fought in Vietnam World War II 50 years ago. Bernie Sanders would have put the old man to bed, took care of him, and just let him die off. You know what I mean? Trump is like taking that 70-year-old man, putting him in military equipment, giving him a gun, and saying, we can go back to war. Like, no, you can't do that. That, you know what I mean? Like, that's what Trump is doing. He's calling to a bygone era that does not exist, didn't exist before 26, doesn't exist now. cannot be brought back. And it's even worse with a pandemic because it's unreasonable. What he's talking, his stuff is unreasonable. What he's talking about, it's completely unreasonable. This brand of Americana and cowboys and men being men and all other crap that has nothing to do with dealing with a pandemic, patriotism, nothing to do with a pandemic. Like I said, it's bad. I'm not gonna get a vaccine. But one thing, I don't have health insurance. Second thing, it might be pretty expensive from what I'm hearing. But the third thing, part of me, every so often it comes to me that I think they're rushing with this vaccine. I think that Trump wants a magic potion, a magic wand, and just poof, pandemic over with. Kind of like that movie Deep Impact. Remember the end of the movie? He wants that. He wants to stand at the podium and be like, well, you know, we went through this, that, and the other, and now it's over with. I think he wants that. And the sun's shining behind him. Like, that's not, no. This thing may be, I believe it's going to become endemic. Meaning that this will just be like the flu. And we'll have to just live with it here in America because people didn't take any protection. And we'll just have to live with it. I really believe that. I really like it. It'll be like bubonic plagues. Every so often you have these major sprouts and a lot of folks will die. And we'll just, okay, that's just normal. You know, I really believe that. And it is so disgusting that it doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to happen. So Trump wants a magic potion. So they might be pushing the CDC along. And the CDC will, they'll put it out there and there might be side effects to it. That's my fear. But I'm not taking it because I believe it's the mark of the beast or it's a microchip or... No, I just think that I'm dealing with a president that doesn't believe in science. I'm dealing with a president that wants to do everything he can to reopen the country. That's it. I don't think he cares about human life. I mean, we're already seeing kids getting COVID. Like this is the first week. You see what I'm saying? Like it's a harebrained idea. This is another Southern thing. We got to get back to this. We got to go back to the kid. You know, we're gonna have to take precautions. These are kids, man. I remember how I was when I was a middle schooler, and I wasn't even that wild. Kids are gonna walk around with it. You can't do that, man. You can't. I mean, it's just sometimes I think we're dealing with a death cult in America. I think that you have people who want the end of the world to come, and they think that that's what Trump is. They want to run this thing into a brick wall, and while they're doing it, they'll be waving a flag, screaming "America, America." I really feel that way. That they're like him, they don't care about the end result of Trump. They don't care about the end result of what he's doing or what COVID. I don't think they care about working class people like me who are just trying to make it by, scrape by. They don't care. You know, I think that Trump is, he's done that to this guy. He's really broken us up. But I think the worst part of his presidency has been to really, instead of using his powers to come forward and speak about it and encourage people to get the vaccine, he's not doing it. Like, listen, it's like this now. If you believe that COVID-19 is not real, you'll probably vote for him. But anybody out here who's a walking, talking adult with a brain in their head that realizes COVID-19 is really bad, how can you vote for Trump? Like, how can you vote for him? Like, how can you look at this pandemic and not say, wow, like he fucked this up, as well as this can't happen again? Like, you know, I understand the supporters, because the supporters, they operate off of a politics of cruelty. I keep saying that. Get back at the blacks. Get back at the Mexicans. Get back at the women. Get back at the gays. That's why Trump got rid of that discrimination thing. I actually heard gay men talking about how that they actually supported Trump. That Trump is okay. I always knew that he was going to self-black because he's bought into the evangelical Christians. I knew that years ago. He was never going to get down with gay people or make no. also it's the idea of, I mean, it just shows you that when it comes to homosexuals, they can be bought out too. And it like, you know, it just, I don't know. I think that was kind of sad to see that. Yeah, it was. To me, that was kind of sad to see that. Yeah, you know, he pimps people. I remember he had this shirt he's holding up talking about gays for Trump or something. But then one of the first things he did was to take out the portion of what was Obamacare or something that was talking about how no discrimination against gay and transgender people. You can support Trump, but as a gay person, you should remember something, that Trump doesn't respect you. And I understand the other parts of it, that there's white men who are gay who they put their money before their sexual identity. You have gay men who just, well, I don't know. I don't see how you can be gay and support Trump, even when he's out elected. I don't know. My thing is just the point that Trump has really balkanized the country, balkanized the world, as well as Trump has he's destroyed confidence in institutions. He really has. Peace.